Take the square root.
Good. Now I can take the square root of both sides. Can you take the square root of 37 and get a nice whole number?
No.
No.
No, but if you have your calculator, we can try.
6.008.
Nice. Now, question. Let's say you don't have your calculator with you and you have a lot of different options. So let's say it's a multiple choice test and you got some options listed like this, and the options are something like this. Okay. And you don't have your calculator. My question is, how can you try and guess correctly without having your calculator with you?
You reverse it, or wait. Wait.
Yeah, that's one way. You could multiply. So you could do 4.03 times 4.03 and see what you get. You could do 6.08 times 6.08, see what you get. That might take a little while. So what's a quick way to at least get some answers out of the way? Like, how can I cross out some of these?
Ms. Lopez, what did you ask?
So if you don't have your calculator with you, right, and you know you're looking for the square root of 37. So all you know is you have to find which one of these is the square root of 37. How can you guess?
So maybe you can like multiply each number by itself, like 4 times 4 is 16, and that's not close to 37, so you can eliminate that.
Exactly. So that was kind of, you took what Tyrone said and then changed it a little bit. But basically, you know that the square root of 16 is 4. So this one, so 4.03 is not going to give you 37. That's going to give you something like 16. What about the bigger numbers?
7 times 7 equals 49.
So this is going to be, right? So that's going to be around 49. And then 9.3 is going to be somewhere around.
Yeah, up there, like 3 times, no, not 3 times, but like 2 times 37.
That's good. 9 times 9 is 81. So it's going to be somewhere around 81. So basically what I'm trying to say is the square root of 37 is going to be close to the square root of 36 because it's only one number off. And we know that the square root of 36 is what?
6.08.
Well, the square root of 36, just 36, is 6. So then the square root of 37 is going to be a little bit more than 6. So if you know in your head that the square root of 36 is 6, then you can guess pretty well that the square root of 37 is going to be a little bit more than 6. Exactly. So that's going to be, I just realized my screen had frozen, but there you go. So that's going to be the best way to guess the right answer if you don't have a calculator with you. It's called guesstimating. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay. So number 2, now we're going to find, oh, and let me label RS. So RS is 6.08. Now we need to find the length of line segment PQ, but this time we're going to use the distance formula. Okay. So we're not going to draw our triangle. We're not going to use the Pythagorean theorem. We are going to use the points P and Q. So I need to know the coordinate point for P. What's my coordinate point going to be for P?
For P, like how long the line is?
No, because we don't know that yet. I just want to know, where is P located? X comma Y.
It's located at negative 4 comma 3.
Negative 4 comma
-2.
negative 2. There you go.
Oh, negative.
You almost had it. And then Q is located at
3,
2.
2.
2, 2 comma 1.
2 comma, it's right on the x-axis, so it's 2 comma 0.
Oh.
Okay. So that's the first thing you have to do is know the coordinate points. Then you use the coordinate points and plug them in to our distance formula. So this is the same as what we used to do in algebra. So let's say P is x1, y1, and Q is x2, y2. Now I can plug everything in. So I'm going to write it down. I have my big square root. And then what's my x2? Which one is x2? 2.
4. Oh, 2.
2. So it's x2 minus x1. So that's 2 minus what goes next?
Negative 4.
So I have 2 minus negative 4 squared. We're just copying down exactly like it is in the formula.
And then
Plus
0, 0 comma negative 2.
0 minus
Negative 2.
negative 2. Squared. Don't forget the squared. And I'm gonna run out of room, I can already tell, but let's try to just get it in. So let me see if I can like make this smaller. I think I can. Ooh, this is fancy. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna do all this math here. Next thing, I'm gonna evaluate inside of the parentheses. So we've got, I'm gonna keep the square root, but let's go ahead and figure out what's inside these parentheses. So 2 minus negative 4.
-6.
Careful. 2 minus negative. Remember, 2 negatives make?
More negative.
2 negatives make a positive.
Positive.
Okay,
Wait,
so so since I have a 2 right here, sorry, 2 minus negative 4, I have 2 negatives next to each other. That's going to turn into a positive. So really, I'm doing 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is positive 6. So that was just the little mistake, is make sure that's going to be a positive 6. And then similar thing here, I have 0 minus negative 2. 2 negatives make a positive. So that's going to end up as
2.
2. Okay. All right. Now that I have that, I can do my exponents. 6 squared is
36.
36. And then 2 squared
4.
is 4. 36 plus 4
40.
is 40. And now before you plug it into your calculator, let's think about this. Before anybody does it, what 2 numbers do you expect this to be between?
5 and 7.
6 and 7.
6 and 7. 6 and 7. So it's because 36 and 49. Somewhere between 36 and 49. Okay, Go ahead. Find it, the answer.
6.32.
Good job. Okay, so that's going to be our blue line. So which one's longer, PQ or RS?
PQ.
PQ. Exactly. All right, so how are we feeling? I know that this is a lot, but how are we feeling? I see some thumbs up, I see some thumbs down. Okay. Okay. Couple more thumbs up. Okay. So tonight I am going to be giving you homework on Khan Academy on this. So you guys will have some more practice.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. It begins now. So you guys will have more practice. We are going to move on to a different type of formula, but I can go back at the end of class and do one more problem like this so that you guys feel really good about it. Does that sound good? Okay.
I
guess. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Now, Janelle's, this is where you're going to write it on the definition side. So basically, anytime you see like, oh, sorry, it's not changing. My bad. I don't know why it keeps freezing like that. It's still frozen. Give it a second. It might just be taking a while to load. There we go. Okay. So now we have our midpoint formula. So we're going to write this down on the left side of your notebook. And anytime that you have like, yeah, that's fine, Denelli's. Anytime that you see like something from the textbook like this, that's where it's usually going to be a definition. So that usually goes on the left. But if you're not sure, just ask me. So can I have a volunteer read the definition here? And then
Me.
Samaj.
Ooh, we got
Me.
competition. Okay, there's two sentences in the first paragraph, just this paragraph right here. So Tyrone, you go do the first one, and then Samaj can do the second one.
The midpoint of a line segment is the point that divides the segment into two segments that have the same length. A line, ray, or a...
That's Samaj now.
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
A line, ray, or other figure that passes through the midpoint of a segment is a segment bisector.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. So you only need to write down those two sentences. You do not need to write down the rest of it. So start by just writing that down, and then we'll explain everything. All right, a couple more seconds. All right, so let's dive into this and try and understand. So the midpoint sounds exactly like what it is, okay? It is the middle point. It's the point that's right in the middle. So in this little diagram down here, I have a line segment, PQ. So I'm going to highlight that line segment. Okay. And then the midpoint of this line segment is located at point M. So I'm going to label it. That's my midpoint. So I do want you guys to draw this little diagram here so that we all know, we can like see it visually. All right, so M is my midpoint. And then in geometry, you're always going to see this in geometry. There's little markings that help us to see which two lines or line segments are equal length. So in this case, since M is right in the middle, it's the midpoint, I have these two tick marks that tell me, okay, that PM, so from P to the middle, is the same as MQ, which is what they tell you right here. So PM equals MQ. Does that make sense so far? Do I have any questions so far? Okay. So now that I know that M is right in the middle, I know that PM is equal to MQ. The last bit is the segment bisector. So segment bisector is also kind of exactly what it sounds like. So we know a segment is just part of a line, and then what is the what is bi in general? The prefix bi, what does that mean?
More than I don't know.
So think of other words that have the prefix bi. We got bicycle.
It means two.
It means two, exactly. So this is telling us that the segment is going to be in two parts. Bisect, okay? To bisect, what word does bisect kind of sound like?
Dissect.
Yeah, dissect. And when you dissect something, what are you doing?
You're splitting it.
Exactly. You're separating it, cutting it, splitting it. So a segment bisector splits something into two equal parts. So in this case, this line over here, line L, that is my segment bisector because it's cutting the other line into two equal parts. Okay, lots of new vocabulary words, but can you guys at least, like, when you look at it, when you visualize it, does that make sense? Yeah?
Do we draw the drawing or no?
Yeah, I want you to draw this, and just as a, like, if you happen to have nice colorful pens like I do, okay, it's very, yeah. Oh, she's got the same ones. Okay, that paper mate. It's very, very nice to be able to do it in colors because it helps you to visualize things a lot better. But if you don't have pens, that's totally okay. I'm just saying, it's nice.
Okay, Miss. So the one that's a line with one arrow is a ray, right?
A line with one arrow is a ray, correct?
The one with 2 arrows at the end
Mm-hmm.
is a line segment.
With 2 arrows at the end, it's just a line.
Oh,
Just a line.
and then, okay. Okay, and then, wait. Huh?
So, matter of fact, look at my screen.
Mm-hmm.
The blue line, the blue one, is that a line segment, a line, or a ray?
Oh, it's because I saw points, and I was
Okay.
thinking arrows are points.
Okay, there you go. So the blue line is a line segment because it has 2 points at the end.
That's a line with the arrows.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
So
you.
this guy's a line segment, and then the green one, since it has 2 arrows, that's just a line. Good question. Any other questions? Okay. All right, so that's our definition. Now we're going to go on to the formula. And I know that it might, like with everything I'm saying today in this class, okay? Geometry loves to make things look confusing. But when you break it down, colors help, pictures help. When you visualize it, everything makes a little bit more sense. So let's go to, with that in mind, let's go to the next slide, which is frozen again. So give me a second. Every time if I like stop writing for a minute, it'll just freeze for no reason. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So here's our midpoint formula. What I want you, the only thing I want you to write down in your definitions is first the actual definition, and it froze again. What is going on? Okay, well, there we go. So the actual definition, and then just
So the box?
the things I highlighted.
Okay.
Okay, so the definition and then the actual formula.
Are we gonna do slopes again?
Are we gonna do the what?
Slopes.
Slope? No, but it is similar in a lot of ways.
Miss, do you know if they ever changed the schedules? Because mine stayed the same, and like 3 teachers asked me, and I told all of them.
Some people's schedules have been changed, but not everybody's. So if yours is staying the same, then that's that. Do you need anything to change? Are you missing any classes or anything?
Yeah, I'm missing world history.
Still? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send an email
Same.
today. Who else is missing world history?
Me.
Janelle's, Tyrone, Perla. What period?
Eighth.
Okay.
7. Tyrone is 7. 8 is
Eighth.
opposite.
Okay.
What? On my schedule it says eighth, so it's eighth.
Oh, well.
Check your schedule.
So you're in opposite for 7th period?
All
What?
I know is that I'm missing a
I have
period.
art for 7th period. What are
Then
you
what?
talking about?
Then what do you have for 8th period?
World history.
Well, how are you missing it if you have it? Then
He's
when,
not doing anything.
then when do you
He's
have,
not sending any links. He's not
when
doing
do you have
anything.
opposite?
Who's the teacher, Tyrone?
Mr. Joseph.
For office aid.
Yes.
Okay.
For
I
8th,
don't even know what. Yes, I don't even know what office A
then
is.
you're not missing the class. It's
What
just
is office A?
office aid is when you go to the office and help. It's not a class, just helping.
Eric, you're
Oh, I'm
missing. You're
smart.
also missing 7th period. Okay. I'll send all of that information.
I'm missing a first period.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll send that too. Okay. All right. So I'll take it that if we're all talking, we're all done copying. Oh, wait.
Take the picture.
Okay.
Okay, all done.
All done. Okay. So again, lots of maybe confusing looking symbols and stuff, but again, I don't want you to stress about it because I want you to visualize it as much as you can. Okay. So let me see. Am I frozen again? Why? This thing is acting up like crazy today. I don't know what's going on. Let me see if this fixes it.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does suck.
Miss, what does the comma mean in the middle?
I'll explain that in a second. So,
Okay.
there we go. All right, so the comma is there in the middle because it is a coordinate point. So this time we're not finding the length of something, we're finding the coordinate point that gives you the very middle of a line. So let's take a look at this line over here, AB, right? And remember, we're talking about line segments that are not straight up and down or side to side, because if they were straight up and down, you can easily count where the middle is. But when it's horizontal, that's a lot harder to do. That's why we have to use math. So if I'm trying to figure out where is the middle of this line, the way you're going to do it is with the midpoint formula. You're going to plug in x1, x2, y1, y2, and that's going to give you your answer. So let's go ahead and do an example with actual numbers, and I promise it'll make more sense once we do that. I'm going to rewrite the midpoint formula up here. Okay. So we're going to find the midpoint of line segment LM. So I'm going to highlight LM. And we're trying to find where exactly is the middle. Now, because I know I'm going to need to plug in x1, y1, x2, y2, I'm going to label my points. So what's here, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. What is the coordinate point for L?
It is negative 1, comma, 1, -1, again, I don't know.
-1, and
Somebody.
now count downwards. How far down does it go?
Oh,
Four.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4, -4.
Yeah, 4.
And now give me the coordinate point for M.
1, 2,
2, comma,
3.
-2.
2, comma,
-2.
-2. Okay.
Big brain.
Big brain. All right. So now that I've labeled them, I can plug those numbers into my midpoint formula. So my midpoint That's why it's a letter M. My midpoint is going to be at x1 plus x2. So x1 is -1. x2 is 2. And I'm going to take those and divide it by 2. So that's my x coordinate. And then I have to do y2 and y1. So that's going to be -4 plus -2 divided by 2. Okay, before I move on to the next step, let's think about this. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why would I want to take the sum and then divide that by 2?
Because that's what the problem tells you to do.
It's what the problem tells me to do, but what is that going to help me? What does dividing by 2 tell you?
That it's
For the two sides?
There's 2 sides. So if I take a number like the number 8, right, and I divide it by 2, what do I get?
4.
4. And 4 is what fraction of 8?
2.
1/2.
Wait,
It's 1/2.
1/2.
So when you divide something by 2, it's telling you how much is 1/2 of that.
Something.
And since I'm looking for the midpoint, remember, I'm looking for the middle of this line. I need to know where is the halfway point. So that's why we're dividing it by 2, okay? Because we're just looking for the halfway point. Does that make a little more sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, now let's evaluate this. So -1 plus 2 gives me
1.
1. So I have 1/2, comma, -4 plus -2 gives me
-6.
-6 over 2. And I can simplify that a little bit more. So I have 1/2, comma, negative, what's,
Miss, where are you writing?
Who's writing?
It's frozen again. Okay, give me a sec. I promise next time
It never
won't be.
used to freeze before.
Yeah, yesterday it was totally fine. I don't know why today it's acting up. There we go. Okay. See all that I had written?
Yeah.
Go ahead and just make sure you have that down.
It looks like I did. Okay.
This is class notes, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so I have 1/2, and then -6 over 2 can be simplified to
-3.
-3. Okay, so that's where my midpoint is located. So I'm going to go on my coordinate plane and I'm going to put that point down. So I'm going to 1/2, comma, 1, 2, -3 right here.
I'm gonna have to rewatch these class recordings like 10 times to understand this.
Well,
Same.
if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do.
So that's the midpoint. That's it.
That's the midpoint. That's it. Visually, visually, do you see how that's in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like it's in the meat.
That's because I drew it a little wrong, but there you go.
Okay, that's better.
And remember, in geometry, now that this is in the middle, what do I know about each of the 2 sides that I just split in 2?
They're even.
They're even, exactly. So because I want you to know that in geometry, I'm gonna put a little tick mark on each side, and that's gonna help me to show that this is in the middle. So there's my tick marks, and now I know that that's right in the middle. Questions?
No.
Okay.
Even though I should have questions, I don't have questions.
Sometimes in life, you don't even know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So you can't ask questions because you don't even know what you don't know. I get that. Trust me. I've been there many, many times. But as long as things make sense visually in this class, that is step number 1. If you can see it, it'll help you understand it better.
I understand it, and then I just forget it. I have bad memory.
Well, that's why you got to take good notes. All right, let's do another. So now, instead of on the graph, this is giving us the actual coordinates. So I don't have a graph, but I do have coordinate points. And we're still going to use the midpoint formula to figure out where that midpoint is located. So, okay. So let's begin with number 1. What I want you guys to do actually is write down the words for this one. Usually I say don't write down all those words, but for this problem, I do want you to write it down so that when you go back to your notes, you know what you were doing. So take a minute and write down problem number 11.
Mm, 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 mm.
So in these two problems, our goal is to show that the statements are true. So I want to know if the midpoint of this line segment is at the origin. So if it is at the origin, what should I get as my answer?
0, miss?
0. Yeah, you should get 0, 0. So we're hoping that this statement is true, but we won't know until we do all the math. So we're going to begin by plugging things into this distance formula. And I froze again, so let me go back. Okay.
So we only write number 11 down?
Now number 11, but then when we go to number 12, you can write down number 12.
It's K-12 all over again, except the teachers aren't freezing. It's the assignment.
It's the assignment. Okay, so I have point A and point B. I'm going to plug these numbers into the distance formula. Sorry, the midpoint formula, my bad. So for point A, I have 6 comma negative 3. I'm going to make that my x1 and my y1. And for point B, I'm going to make that my x2, y2. It does not matter which one you choose. So you can do whichever ones you want, but for this one, I'm going to make A, x1, y1, and B, x2, y2. And I plug it in. So x1 is
6.
So I have 6 plus x2 is negative 6. And that's over 2. And then for y1 and y2, I have negative 3 plus 3, all over 2. And when you do the math, what happens?
They cancel.
Math. Numbers.
So,
They cancel out to 0 because 6 plus negative 6, that cancels out to 0.
Wow. Boring day.
And then negative 3 plus 3
And I
also.
haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm hungry.
You're hungry? Me too.
I can't. My mom's saying I can't eat in the middle.
I got him. Okay, so it cancels out to 0, and 0 divided by anything is
on.
gone, 0 as well. So for my final answer,
0, if the 0 is on top and there's a number on the bottom, it's on.
it's
But
on.
then the number on top and then the 0 on the bottom is no.
It's no. Good job. You remembered something from last year. Okay, so this becomes 0, comma 0.
Hello, you have to teach me. You understand all of this.
I'm a bad teacher.
No, you're not. Stop capping on your forehead.
So is this statement correct? Is my original statement correct?
Yes, it looks like a face.
Yes.
Yes.
0, 0.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, the statement.
This is actually pretty simple, but at the same time complicated.
Sure.
The
Can I
statement is
draw a
correct.
smiley face?
No. All right, so I want you guys now to try problem number 12. Make sure you write it down so you have it in your notebook. That way when you go back, you know what you were talking about. So write down the problem and then do the work. Find the midpoint and see if the statement is correct. Go ahead.
I already got lost.
Use the midpoint formula.
That's so funny.
Miss, that line on top means it goes forever, right?
On JK?
Yeah.
Well, if JK has endpoints, does it go on forever or no?
Oh, wait, but then what does the line mean? I forgot. Wait, let me look at my notes.
The line just tells you that it's a line segment. That's all.
Oh. Okay. Let me make sure. Oh.
Go Prilla.
Wait, that it's a line segment?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll see it like that and sometimes you won't. But in general, when you see the key word here is that it has endpoints. So even though you might not know if it's a line or a line segment, if it has endpoints, it has to be a line segment.
Wait, but in one of my notes, it says draw point K again and draw a ray from endpoint K. And then we wrote it as KJ with a line on top.
That one was KJ, like this, look.
I don't see anything.
You don't see it?
No.
It's definitely working. I wrote it in the corner. Is something in the way?
Where? I don't see anything.
On the lower right-hand side.
Oh, never mind. Oh, the camera was on me. It's because it's bothering me all over. Okay. Whoops. Okay.
Keep working on number 12, guys.
Okay, I
I
got this
still got lost.
to work.
Okay,
I'm invisible.
Jalen, start by labeling your points. J and K, label them just like I did in problem 11. Label them with x1, y1, and x2, y2.
Okay.
And then plug those numbers into the midpoint formula.
Miss, I learned the other formula, the distance formula.
You memorized it yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
I'm scary. Hee hee hee.
I wish I had a brain like Perla.
Oh wow.
Tyrone, I can tell you're not working right now. Come on.
Okay, fine.
Twinkies.
Quadrant 4 is the one on the left bottom, right? Because quadrant 1 is on the right bottom.
Quadrant 1 is the top right. The
Top
positive numbers.
Oh, and then so it's on the bottom right.
I can't
So it
see
goes,
the screen.
so it
Oh,
goes
there we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you see that's confusing. Why didn't they just do it left to right?
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
4? They gotta make everything so complicated, man.
I know.
They want us to struggle.
I think I got the answer.
You think
That's
you got the answer,
geometry.
Janelle's?
Hey, miss,
Mm-hmm.
how'd you get the pluses? Did you just like
The pluses, which ones? In number
and
12, 11?
11? Like,
So you're talking about these right here?
yes.
They're in the formula. So if you look up at the formula, it has plus signs in it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to start going through this. So I have 2 points, J and K. I'm going to label them first. So J is going to be my x1, y1, and K is going to be my x2, y2. And I'm going to go ahead and plug everything in. So M is located at, what's my x1?
7.
7. So I have 7 plus, so the plus is built into the equation. But then if you have another, so let's keep going. So x2 is, and it's frozen again.
Parentheses -5.
Parentheses -5, exactly. Because the plus sign you have to put down, and then if you have another negative number after that, you put it in parentheses. So I've got 7 plus parentheses -5, and that's going to go
over 2.
over 2. Good. And then comma,
Big brain.
Someone new joined.
Comma 0
plus,
parentheses -4.
there you go. You got it.
Hey,
Over 2.
here comes the hard part.
The hard part, this is not that hard.
Let's do this.
All right, now we got to add. So what's 7 plus -5?
7 plus -5 equals, wait, oh no. That's 7. Mm, 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 mm. Wait, give me 1 second. Like, nobody say the answer. I got this.
No, I want to say it.
Tyrone, you got 3 seconds, and then Daniel can say it.
Is it 0?
How are you going to get 0? 7 plus -5, how are you going to get 0?
I don't know.
You don't know? Daniel?
So it's 2, but there's also a 2 under it, so it would be a 1.
Good. And I'll write that in the next step. Okay, so it's 2 over 2 for the x coordinate, and then my y coordinate, I have 0 plus -4, so that's going to be
-4.
-4 over 2. All right, and like Daniel said, 2 over 2 simplifies to 1.
No.
And then -4 divided by 2 gives me?
-2.
-2. Okay, is that point?
Dos.
I don't use Spanish.
Is that point on in the 4th quadrant?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember, this is our quadrants, and if I'm looking at 1, -2, that's going to be somewhere in the 4th quadrant. So this is correct. Statement is correct. All right, so questions on the midpoint formula. Which one's easier, the midpoint formula or the distance formula?
Midpoint. Wait.
Yeah, I agree.
Yay.
All right, we have time left. So I would like to do at least one more problem with the distance formula. And after that,
Yes.
I'm gonna sign you up for the new Khan Academy code, and then we'll be done. So let me find a good problem for you guys, because I don't think I have one in this document yet. Let me see.
Give us an algebra problem. That way we can get over with it quicker.
We did this one yesterday. Would you guys like to see a brand new problem or just do one that we did yesterday?
Yeah, I have the answer here. So
Yesterday.
we did yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, using the midpoint formula?
No, the distance formula.
Oh, that big one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do, hold on a second. I wanna see if I can copy this onto a new page. Give me one. I don't know how to use this program yet. No, I can't. That's fine. Okay. So I'm gonna clear this. Okay. So what I wanna do on this one is I want to do all three things using the same exact graph. So those three things are, number one, Pythagorean theorem. Number two, distance formula. Number three, midpoint formula. That way we can practice all three. Sound good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In your notebook, all you need to write down is the math. You do not need to copy down the graph, but any math that we use, I want you to write that down. So starting with the Pythagorean theorem.
Oh, Miss,
Who would like to walk us through how to do that?
Tyrone would like to do that.
No, I would not.
Yes, you would. You're smart and you're capable of it.
I don't even know the first
That
step.
would sound like
You
my
do.
mom.
You do half of it, then I do the other half.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. So what? Okay. The parentheses theorem. I'm gonna just call
No,
it.
you're gonna repeat after me. Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem.
Okay.
Pythagorean theorem.
I don't even remember now. Looks like Pytho theorem.
Okay, let Perla go. What do I need to do first?
Formula is a to the power 2 plus, okay. So we need to find the unit, or how long, I don't know. I just think of it as unit.
Okay.
So from U to V, okay. Is that V or would that be U, Miss? The blue line.
The blue line is UV.
Oh, so UV together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be 5, 6 units.
Which one? Sorry.
Wait.
Here, matter of fact, let me do this. I'm gonna call this one R. Okay, so now you can tell me, which one are you measuring?
Okay, I'm gonna do VR because it's easier.
Okay, VR.
One is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Well,
Okay.
actually, they're both 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count again for UR.
Oh, 1. Oh, the bottom one. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. It's because I was counting the blue line, Miss. I'm sorry.
Okay, and that's the whole point, right? Like the whole point. Okay, Daniel, thank you. Okay. The whole point is you can't count the blue line even if you tried. Like if I tried to count the blue line, that makes no sense because it's going in between. It's going diagonal. Okay, so that's the whole reason we have to do all of this, is because you can't count the blue line. Okay.
That's why I was confused. Okay, anyways, after we've done that, I'm gonna choose 5 as A, and then 6 will be the B.
Okay. And I'm gonna just delete a couple of things here so I have more space. All right. There we go. So go ahead and fill in the blanks. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So I'm gonna write
5 squared plus
Mhm.
6 squared equals C squared.
Good.
And then 5 times 2 is 25 plus 36 equals C squared.
Beautiful.
And then that's 61 equals C squared. And then we're gonna take the square root, which is equal to 7.81. So C is equal to 7.81.
Perfect.
Tyrone, oh wait,
All
he
right.
said he'll be.
Yeah, he said he'll be right back.
Okay.
So do I
Next
have any
call.
do I have any questions on the Pythagorean theorem?
The episode,
No.
yes.
Okay. So that's that.
Do I get to do the distance one now?
If you want to, yeah. So let me go ahead. So I'm gonna erase everything and go to the second problem now.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Expect me to get a lot of things wrong. Okay, here we go.
That's okay, because guess what? I don't care if you get something wrong. I care that you learn from your mistakes. There's zero judgment.
Okay, so first I start off with the formula, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the formula, you have to put that little check mark thing.
The little check mark
then
thing. Boy, what's that called?
Check mark thing.
What's that called?
She called you a boy.
What's that called?
Oh no. Forgot.
This is not a check mark
What?
thing. We're gonna call that a
Uh,
radical.
Oh, that's
a
a,
radical.
Radical. Mhm.
it's a square root thing.
It is a square root thing, but the proper name for it is radical.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, it's called
And
check
then
mark thing.
you put parentheses, x, then you put the little 2 next to it, then minus, then x with the other thing next to it, then a parentheses, then square, and then plus y number minus y number parentheses squared.
Okay, so I write down my long formula that I have to memorize. Now what?
Yeast. I have no idea.
Who can help out here?
Tyrone.
Hola. Somebody give me a hint. I'm not good at these type of things.
Look, it's X and Y. You see that there are 2 X and 2 Y. And there's 2 coordinate points that you need to use. So,
Do I like fill in the X's and Y's with numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to.
Okay, so X would be, the U point would be -3,
Mhm.
comma, -3 also?
Remember, Tyrone,
Wait,
you counted, this is -3. Now from there, you
2.
got to go down.
Yeah. Okay, so 2.
And we only went down by 1, so it's -3, comma, -1.
1.
Okay, we're going to review that, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit of homework on that. Okay,
Okay.
and then Daniel, what's the coordinate point for V?
3, 4.
3, comma, 4. Good.
Yay.
Awesome. All right. Now you take all those numbers and we're going to put them in to our formula. And matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to go super extra right now and I'm going to make everything a different color so that you can see how it matches up. Here we go. Miss Lopez, hardcore right now. -3,
Yeah.
comma, -1. And then we have 3, comma, 4. Okay. So what do I put first into my formula?
-3.
-3, exactly.
Then the 3.
Exactly. So I have -3 minus 3.
3.
Okay.
Then
And now,
-1 minus 4.
good. Does it matter if you do it the opposite way? So could I do 3 minus -3 and then 4 minus -1? In other words, can I flip these if I wanted to?
No. Wait. Yes.
Yeah, you can. However, you just want to make sure that you're matching the correct ones. So the red goes with the green and the purple goes with the orange, right? So you just want to make sure that your two x1 and y1 stay together, and then your x2 and y2 stay together. All right, now I've got all my points. Let's do the math. What is -3 minus 3?
That's 0.
Try again. You're close. You're thinking backwards.
Mm,
-3 minus 3. Someone else can
Miss,
jump
my
in.
computer died.
That's okay, you're
not
back.
good one. -3 minus 3. That would be
Alejandro in the
-6.
chat, yeah, -6, good. And then -1 minus 4 is?
-1 minus 4 is -5.
Good.
Uh,
Okay.
your
Now I have to square everything. So -6 squared is
-6 squared would be
yeah,
positive 36.
positive 36, good. And -5 squared is going to be positive
25.
25. All right, we're almost there. Now we add 36 plus 25,
61.
61. And the square root of 61, which we did in our calculators, is?
Miss, why
I
are
know
people
we did it
coming out
before,
with
but I have to do
61?
it again.
Ooh, there were like 4 people talking at the same time. Say that again.
Why are all of these problems coming out to
7.
21?
7.81.
7.8. 7.810249676.
Okay, 7.81. There you go.
Okay, I understand this formula. Actually, hold up. Don't change the slide, please.
I will not. Take a picture if it helps, because the colors might be very helpful.
Okay, now you can choose it. Thank you for not making fun of me for not understanding.
I would never do
You
that.
guys are good classmates.
Poop.
You know they would never do that either. We're all good friends here.
Yay.
Okay. Questions
Are
on
you
distance
sure?
formula? Yeah.
I would definitely do it.
Questions on distance formula.
I knew it.
No.
Do the Pythagorean theorem and the distance formula tell you the same thing or different things?
I really don't know.
The same thing.
Same exact thing. They both tell you the length of that line. It's just 2 ways to do the same exact thing. All right, same things with different formulas. Final thing, the final problem is midpoint. So now that we know how long this line is, let's find out where the middle is located. So let's write that down. Midpoint formula. Okay. So one more time, and I'm giving it to you right now, but you guys have to study it and memorize it. x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. Okay. And luckily I have everything nice and labeled already, so I can just go ahead and plug it in. So what's my x1? What's my
So
x1?
what?
Anyone out there? -3. Thank you, Alejandro. So -3 plus, what's my x2? 3.
Or wait,
There-
what?
We're looking at
What
the
am I looking at?
x coordinates.
Oh, I'm retarded.
You are not. Don't say that word.
I
All
just
right.
did.
And then what's my y1? Where's my y1?
-1.
-1 plus 4 divided by 2. And now we solve, we do the math. So what's -3 plus 3?
Repeat the question, please.
What's -3 plus 3?
-3 plus 3 is 6.
No, sir. -3 plus 3.
Oh, -3 plus 3 is 0.
So I have 0 over 2, comma. What's -1 plus 4?
Plus
-1 plus 4, yes.
-1 plus 4 is 3.
That's 3. Simplifying everything, 0 divided by 2 is just 0. So we've got 0, comma, 3 halves. That's where my midpoint is located. So I'm going to put that on the graph. 0, comma, 3 halves, or 1.5. There's my midpoint.
Miss, I had done it right, and then I was looking at it like if it was 1.5, comma 0, and I was like, that's not the midpoint.
Oh, you had it in the wrong order.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
so you have to be
I
careful.
did it right, but I was reading it wrong.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Those are my 3 things, right? Pythagorean theorem, distance formula, midpoint formula. That is what we need to know for this week. So do I have any final questions? Cool.
No,
No
I'm just
final
gonna
questions.
rewatch.
Good. So I'm going to stop the recording now because in these last 5 minutes, I'm gonna have you guys join the Khan Academy group.